guys, this is Stephanie here, and today we are talking COBRA Part 2. So if you haven't watched Part 1 yet, click on the link below. What we're talking about is figuring out if COBRA is the right fit for you. And the first video is what COBRA is and also the information that you need to gather to be able to make that decision. Now we have gathered the information and we're putting it together in this video to decide, hey, is it right? In what way is it right? Just the medical, dental, vision, how long do I take it, who takes it, etc. So we're going to go over all that today and parse that all out. Okay, the first thing I'm going to touch on that might be a good idea for you guys is your dental and the vision. Now, if the price is just ridiculously too much on the medical and you're like, of course we can't take it, don't snub your nose at COBRA yet, because the dental and vision might be a good fit for you guys, especially if you have some work that needs to be done. Not just root canals and crowns, but if you've got a couple fillings, if you need a tooth pulled, anything like that. Because when you start a new dental plan with another company, usually they're going to have a waiting period of at least 6 months, oftentimes 12 months before your benefits kick in for even a filling or a tooth pull. Preventative usually starts on day one, but any sort of other additional work, you're definitely going to see a waiting period. So if you can take that 18 months to get that work done before it resets, or get you to a point where you can wait that 6 months or 12 months before you get any additional work done, then I recommend doing that. Also, group dental and vision is usually cheaper on COBRA than it is on an individual basis. And oftentimes the benefits are a little bit better too, the percentages that they'll pay and also the max per person that they will pay. So check that out. Don't completely say no yet. Look at the dental and the vision. All right, so next thing that is a common scenario when you're looking at COBRA and if it's going to be the best fit for you is if somebody in your family needs to have a surgery. Now, this means that you're going to be hitting your max out of pocket. Your only other option outside of COBRA is going to be a marketplace plan, and that will have full and complete coverage for you. If you do have a PPO, depending on what your max out of pocket is, your COBRA might have better benefits than would be available on the marketplace. If you qualify for a subsidy, that's going to bring the price of that marketplace down, and it might make it more advantageous, but double check to make sure your doctor's in network, double check what your max out of pocket is, because if your max out of pocket's $5,000 here, but $8,000 over here, but the premium difference is only $100 more on the COBRA, then that might be a better choice for you. And that's why I asked you on part 1 to check out what would be the cost for each individual person, and also if the employee has to be on the plan or not. Because if you only have one family member that needs to have some sort of work done or has a pre-existing condition, and we're talking diabetes, they need a surgery, they had cancer within the last 5-10 years, those are going to be things that are going to limit what plans that those particular people can get onto. So COBRA might be the best bet for as long as possible. So go ahead, price out the marketplace plans and take the information of can you just have that one person on the COBRA plan, and do a balance out of your premium versus what your max out of pocket is and what likely needs to get done that year. Okay, health insurance is a lot of numbers and people shy away from that. Just take all this information and do a little math and then it's obvious. I want you to be able to understand. I want this to be able to help you. I'm going to do a video on the math of it all, the premiums and the max out of pockets and the deductibles, and looking at the year and what needs to get done and paying more on a premium, etc. So if math isn't your thing, then definitely check out that video. Again, subscribe, hit my website, hit the bell so you'll be notified when that comes out. But I'm going to be doing those type of videos because, again, this isn't easy to wrap your mind around. And if you do have specific questions, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys and do specific videos to help you, wade through all this. Okay, another thing to consider when you're slicing and dicing your COBRA is keeping different family members on for a specific amount of time. Now, sometimes too, you just need to have a child on before they go to college, or they get married, or somebody's about to go on Medicare, or this person's about ready to start another job and you just need to hold on to for a little bit of time. So one of the questions that we asked was, can we pull somebody off midstream? Does everybody have to come off? Also, you don't have to keep COBRA the full 18 months. You can stop it at any time. Okay, another thing that you want to do is decide and act in time, especially if you have a marketplace plan. Now, COBRA usually has that 60-day grace period, and you found out in part 1. You got to be careful when you decide, because if your next best plan is marketplace plan, those marketplace plans only start on the 1st of each month. So this can get a little bit tricky, especially since if your last day of coverage is the 15th of the month, just be aware that, again, if your work coverage ends in the middle of the month and you're going to take a marketplace plan, the marketplace plans only start on the first of each month. So you're either going to have to start it early so you don't have a gap, or aware that you're going to have a gap. But if you do have the gap, the COBRA does have a grace period in there. So if something bad happens, you could take the COBRA, but then you'd have to pay the COBRA prices. So just be aware of how the math of that all works. So one of the things I want to touch on with COBRA and deciding about COBRA is that, especially if you're coming off of an employer plan, a group plan, and you're going on your own, self-employed, early retired, you have to buy your own plan. There's the desire to have everybody on the same plan together. It just is easier. But on the individual basis, a lot of times that is not either financially or benefits wise to do that, because different people on the family have different needs and they'll have to go to different plans for that. So just be aware that part of the slicing and dicing is figuring out which each person needs, what you can do financially. Do you qualify for subsidy with the marketplace? Are you healthy enough to qualify for an underwritten plan? Can you have separate people in the family taking COBRA for a short period of time or even a long period of time? Do they need a surgery, etc.? So matching the plan to the people in the family, and that a lot of times, most of the people that I'm signing plans with, the best situation is not the whole family on one plan, but it's going to be this person over here and the rest of the family over here. And that's okay, because again, at the end of the day, if you're doing that, a lot of the times you're going to be saving money, and also overall the benefits for everyone are going to be better. Okay, my darlings, so on my website, stephanieritt.com, what I call the COBRA Questionnaire, and again, those questions that you ask your HR person is all listed in there. But the COBRA Questionnaire also has a lot of different information, including all the points that we went over today. So quick summary of everything. So if you're slicing and dice COBRA, first and foremost, dental and vision, what is available to you and the cost versus what is out there on an individual level, oftentimes are cheaper on COBRA than it is for the individual. Then after that, looking at what your needs are. If you need a surgery, well, then you're going to be hitting that max out of pocket. So comparing your premium, max out of pocket, and what you'd be paying over the year. Then you want to look at, is everybody healthy? Then there are underwritten plans that might be a really good fit to bring down that price and still get a lot better benefits. Or if your income overall, especially if you are self-employed or just starting self-employed, you might be able to qualify for a subsidy on the marketplace. Subsidy, let's see if I can pronounce that, subsidy on the marketplace. Another question you should be able to answer is, can you have just one or two family members on the plan, or do you need to have everybody, or, you know, it has to have the employee with you as well? So doing that math of who can be on COBRA, who would really benefit the most to be on COBRA, and can they be on their own? Again, finding the right fit for everybody. Then being aware of that the best situation overall may be having different family members on different plans, both for cost and then also for benefits overall. It is often much easier to have everybody on the same plan, but bottom line is, for overall cost on a monthly basis, and then overall cost benefits wise and quality of care and flexibility might be best by having different people on different plans. Okay, you guys, so I hope this helped you. If it did, please give me a like, subscribe, hit the bell, and especially if you are self-employed and early retired, if you're buying your own health insurance, if you want to be able to maximize those plans, learn a little bit more about them, those are the videos that I put out. You can be notified when I put out a new one for you. I'm going to be getting that, doing the math of comparing out your premiums and the benefits and how to do that math here pretty shortly. So go ahead and look for that. Otherwise, you guys, I hope you have a gorgeous day and you take care.